Hi everyone, another episode for the Talking with series. Today I have my friend Albiona. I think we chatted just a couple of times, but already made some collaborations. She's super active on all the social media, especially Instagram, and she's always been traveling, going conferences. I don't know. She's doing so many things that I had to invite her here to ask her some questions and at least stay up to date to what she's doing now. Okay, so we can start. So, Albiona, welcome, and how are you?
Hi, Francesco. Thank you so much for inviting me for your interviews or like podcast. I don't know how to say it, but I'm so lucky to be here because I have to say from the beginning, from the first day that we talked on a Twitter space, I have been welcomed to this amazing network of people on Twitter and tech and at the 4C community, which is for creators, a community you have grown like from scratch. So thank you so much. I am doing great and I am excited to talk today to you and to share our things and to learn. So yep.
Nice. And as you can see, it always starts with a Twitter space. So many activities they start with Twitter space, and then we do something else. So nice. Hi,
This is
Jax.
the
How's it
best.
going?
Hi, Jax. This is the best. So
Nice. Okay, so Albiona, please introduce yourself, and then we have some questions for you. Please.
sure. So for everyone, I am Albiona. I am known as Albi Codes on Instagram and Twitter. That is like my username. I'm a developer relations. I'm currently working in Web3. So yeah, I started as a developer and I switched to developer relations because I did a lot of like community work on the side for fun, and I didn't know where that could lead. So I'm here today working as a DevRel.
Nice. And I think that this is something kind of new, at least this last role. So I want to know more about your story, but this is like fresh news. Like you were not
Yes.
working in DevRel when we met, I think 1 month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, I actually like yeah, let's go from the beginning. So
Yeah.
I am working from like I studied computer science and I was working as a front-end developer with React and JavaScript for like 2 years and a half. I switched to Angular. Uh yeah, I was doing a lot of things when it comes to communities. I'm from Kosovo, by the way, so I built communities there with my sister, the Coder Girls NGO, where we organized a couple of hackathons. But like 2 years and a half, I did programming, and then there comes a project that I met online, Webini, which is a serverless framework, and I wanted to join them as a full stack developer, but they suggested for me to join as a developer relations, and that was in 2020. So that is my first time that I was starting as a developer relations from scratch in for a project that was not like very big, and we both sides had to learn from each other how we can make it work. And then I did a year with them as developer relations, trying to build up a pipeline of process that can be worked in a way that we could leverage the engineering as marketing. And then I continued to create content, technical tutorials, and things like that. And then after that, I joined a Web3 company in blockchain, like from scratch, everything. And I just went to it. So that happened last year in May. I worked for that company for like a year and a half, and now I just switched the company. So this is kind of the news that I can kind of show more details later on.
Perfect. Can we say that you didn't get bored lately?
Of course, like this is the thing, that there are a lot of things happening, exciting things, and you expect that those things will end. You would expect that, oh, this is just for some time, but no, this is not just for some time. This is just continuing nonstop. You would think that everything will settle and you will have a peaceful life, but no, you would just go up and up and up. And that's why it's like I also, for myself, I try to express this a lot on Instagram, that You can go anywhere as long as you try things, because it's not that you can do it by yourself. There will be other people who can take your hand and go together with you somewhere that you want to. So that is the best way possible for you to kind of improve, get better, and achieve your goals.
Nice. I really love your energy on all the social media, especially Instagram. I see Yuri here, Graham, many people from Twitter. So we need to bring you more on the Twitter side. And
Yep.
yes, it's great. And I think everything snowballs. Like you think that you are done, but the more opportunities you have, the more you attract stuff. So maybe deciding what you want to do at some point it's a skill. Like, okay, so
Yes.
let's put this on the side because otherwise it
This
becomes
is important.
otherwise it becomes so much. Yes, too much. So okay, so please tell me more about your experience as a content creator. When did you start? When did you dive deep? Because she has more than 50,000 on Instagram. I don't know. I think you have 2-3 accounts. You are active on many things. You also want to start YouTube. So yeah, you are super active.
Oh, thank you so much, Francesco. Well, I really remember my beginnings. Like, we all know our version when we want to start something out and we don't know where to start. And this happened by the end of 2019. I was in New York, and I can name one influencer that I was following at the time. He's in New York. His name is Florian Thimpson, I think is the last name, but his Instagram account is like the Florian or something like that. He's a developer from Germany who moved to New York, and he was posting a lot at the time. And I was like so inspired from all of the content he was producing. And that's where I decided to do a 30-day challenge to post every day at least one post, which was very hard. I remember myself spending 3 or 4 hours for a piece of like just a description post on Instagram. And I thought that I could never do it. I thought that I could never write things down, what I want to express to the platform that I'm very new, that I have only my family and friends. But I did 7 posts in 7 days, and then I stopped. But that was just the beginning. So then I went to YouTube. I started looking for content creators. I started looking for ways, how can I post, how can I write, how can I express myself, how can I build myself, because I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I wanted to do, for whom I wanted to create content, or why do I need to do that. But I just knew that there's something here that really makes me want to do things online, and I just kept following the gut feeling that I had. And then I found Ali Abdal YouTube channel that he had a lot of content on how to create YouTube videos, how to be present online. And I thought, well, I will do the YouTube video thing. Like 2019 was that. Then I joined 2020 as a developer relation, which was like more content, more ways, how can I kind of create content for a project that is positioned in a specific like level when it comes to being promoted to their audience. So I started learning for growth. I started learning for marketing. And there's like this book called Traction that one of the co-founders of DuckDuckGo wrote, and he's a technical founder. He wrote a marketing book. So I said, well, this is it. I learned to build content for myself and for the company while I was doing my job. So I think everything was kind of interconnected between my goals and what I wanted to work for, my skills and things like that. So the beginning was by the end of 2019, and then I kept trying until 2021, when I really started posting on Instagram like nothing, like daily, every day for a long time.
Yes, and I see something similar with me. Maybe I did similar things more on Twitter. I started at the end of 2019, and I started before that. I really hated the social media, so it was something that I was really trying to avoid. But then I don't know. Gradually, I've been swallowed into this world, and I really like your approach. For example, you put many time lapses or just you working and then you keep sharing what you do. And I was thinking, it is some days ago, it is also one of the reasons why I asked you to join, that this is like an extra step, because you can just do your work, close everything and go to sleep. This content creation part is an extra step, because you also have to explain what you're doing daily. And this takes time, but if you do this daily, you have basically you're basically including this in your normal day. So you pick, I don't know, 30 minutes of your life every day for 1-2 years. This has an impact. From what I saw is that this consistent and daily effort, it's way better than say, okay, let's put a total weekend on content creation of 48 hours and then you stop doing this for 2 weeks. It's just distributing your time. I see that you do this very well.
That, I think that is one thing that worked for me on Instagram, because I didn't want to follow templates of how to do things. I wanted to create my own templates, and I saw that it worked for different people. And what really helped me was one book that I mention a lot, that is Show Your Work, and also the essay that I forget, I don't know his name, but he's very famous on Twitter and we all know him, I think. He's like, essay is like Learn in Public. So those two, I will share later on the link on the comments, but the Show Your Work book by Austin Kleon and that essay combined what I needed to know. Like, it's okay to share your daily progress. It's okay to share things that you're not proud of. Like, we all judge ourselves for our progress. We all judge ourselves for where do we want to go and why we are not there yet. So by thinking that end goal, we stop the daily actions. So for me, it just worked. Well, I will do my best for today. I will be my best version for today, and I will just keep trying. And I started, well, how can I share my progress, my process online? Well, I'm journaling every day, so I will just record a video or a time lapse. I am kind of meditating. I will record myself while meditating. I am having all of these ideas and I'm not working in any of them. I will show everything. So I will just share all of my goals, all of my progress online. And people kept coming back because they liked that I am real in a way that I can show my failures, I can show my successes, I can show that I am not that person that you have seen for the past 5 months. Like, I had my peak performance last year by the end of like this time, where I was going at the gym 5 times a day for 6 months, and I started doing swimming classes, and I was working full time. I was sharing all that online, and I was sharing everything during the day on my stories. So people really saw that I'm doing things daily. But then I just got sick. I stopped going and doing all of those things. And I kept sharing it because I was like, I'm the same person, but it's not the goal for you to be a robot. The goal is for you to understand every day that you're a human, and you get to decide how you want to be represented, how you want to kind of expose yourself to different audiences. And that really helped me. And it made a really good shift to my mindset to kind of really just keep up with the flow of all of the things that I want to do daily, and then keep a little track of like long-term goals on the way.
Yes. And for example, I can say that I really like this approach. I think you need a very strong mindset to keep sharing goals to your friends, because, on social media, we want to look cool, that we're a success, that we have been hired at Google, that we won that prize. And there are some things that we do well in our life, but there are also many things that are not that good, we can say. And I think that if you have the braveness to share them, people can relate and feel you even more. So maybe this is something that it's not easy, but if you can manage to achieve that level, it becomes, let's say, easier to execute. It's harder. It's more about having some blocks of sharing
Yes.
our weaknesses because we want to look cool, let's say. But everybody. But it's I think it also gives you. I always say this, that like if you share your failures, you never run out of content. For example, I can have a content.
It's like you'll have unlimited exposure to your audience all the time. So don't hold back. Like I was thinking during the past 3 weeks, I stopped sharing content on Instagram and my like numbers dropped. And I was like, okay, I know, like I figured out what works for me. For me, it works when I spam my audience, because this way I can track, like I can reach out to different people with different posts. So whoever likes a specific theme, they will stick to it. Whoever likes a video, they will stick to it. So this is my idea, right? You don't share everything because you want to be seen from the same people in every post. You share because there are different people who want different things from you. So I said, well, that's okay. I will take this as a break, and I'm not taking some rest or something. It's just I'm not posting 4 times a day every day. I'm posting 2 times a day every other day, right? So but it's good. I think it's like it helped me in a very like good way, and I can say that I progressed a lot by writing those tiny descriptions, and I got to meet a lot of people in real life that came from this. So I'm so grateful for myself, like accepting it, pushing it forward, and then doing what I felt to kind of do.
Nice, absolutely. I always say that social media, at the end of the day, they are tools. We should not be used by social media, but use social media to meet people in person. Probably one day we'll also meet next year. If you keep going to some Ethereum conferences or some Web3 conference, there is a high chance. And this is I think this is the healthy way to last, like, I don't know, for 30 years, 40 years. So I don't know, we don't even know if there will be Instagram for in 30 years, but it's more about using social media as tools to meet people in person.
Yeah, using technology. Like we have seen a lot of changes when it comes to like evolving in every aspect, right? So why should we put barriers around things that we ourselves are helping to be developed? And if we are there, if we are like part of this process, why not be part of the group who are making the changes, and then try to get as much into that as possible? Who knows what will happen? Like, who knows if we will, like with you, Francesco, maybe later on we can work on something together. We can be at the same team, or we can, I don't know. So this is the good thing, that you never know. Just keep giving, keep pushing forward, and then good things will come your way. And then you would feel like, yeah, I don't deserve them, but actually you do. So that's but I don't know. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I have still some questions, and of course, be sure to drop your questions in the chat because we'll add them later. So, okay, so let's talk about Web3 and blockchain. Okay, so for example, I started posting consistently about 1 year ago, and I've been posting daily. And the 19th of December, I'll celebrate 1 year of posting daily. So, what about you? Because I don't know, because I see that you do many things, Rust, but I don't know, when did you start? What are you currently doing? So we needed some time, so we're doing this during the live stream, but I'm genuinely interested to what are you doing, which are the things that you like the most.
Yes.
So let's make this public, but you're honestly interested into that.
Yeah. So as I told you, I started working in blockchain in a company called Manta Network, which is a parachain in Polkadot. So one of the co-founders, I don't know, I found them on AngelList. I had no idea about Web3. I had no idea about blockchain. I found the job. I applied to the job because it was like the description was very related with all of the things that I was doing. They needed a technical person, but working on the community side and also on the content side. And the good part that really kind of, I don't know, that I really liked was the cryptography part and the zero knowledge proofs industry, like in general concept in cryptography. it was something that I was very interested to be around, right? So I just went, I applied. I didn't get like any, like we chatted in the beginning. I did 3 or 4 different interviews, just like talking to every like person in the company. And then for a month, I didn't get anything. So you know what I did? I just went to the job description again, and I saw that they are kind of building this ambassador program. I saw all of the activities that they need to do and stuff like that. It was very related to a DevRel plan when it comes to writing content to a target audience when it comes to their product. So I said, well, I will just keep building myself a plan for that program without even getting the job. So I just got into work, started writing all of my thoughts around it. How can I bring solutions? What are my strategies? What I will do? How can I manage it? Everything. And we exchanged like 27 emails, and they were like very busy to get back to me. Like I was waiting, and this process lasted for a month and a half. And also I was like on the side, I was taking some rest. I was having some like family issues that I needed to be there and things like that. And when they got back to me, they were like, oh, okay, you're the best candidate. So it was Thursday, you will start on Monday. And I was like, that's it. I jumped on the role. I managed the ambassador program, which is like, I don't like the name, but yes, because the team or the product was not there yet when it comes to the developer tools. Like usually the DevRel works on the tools that are being developed, and for kind of the target users of those tools will be other developers, right? But the project was not there yet to kind of bring tool sets to the end users. So I kept doing the ambassador program on all around the problems we were trying to solve, the current development that is going on, like how to build an advocacy program that everyone can learn about the technology, the problem, why, like for them it was like privacy issue, like we are bringing privacy for like Web3 or blockchain in general. So I kept doing that, and it was kind of a startup, and I kind of was there for the team was from 7 people until they were like 30 people. So I was part of all of the processes. I saw how they worked, and it was my 3rd time that I was part of a real startup. When I say real startup, it's like you see everything happening everywhere, and I kind of enjoy that. Like a lot of people say that, no, I don't want to work in a startup because you don't know like the processes, they don't have systems in place and things like that. But I like to be part of those systems, like those places where I can put my like efforts into building those processes. So this was my kind of starting point in Web3 specifically. And when I saw the space, I was like, wow. And it was like the booming era of like DeFi products or protocols. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that everything you like, you really put your soul, your heart into that. I don't know, like that.
I kind of have that. Like now that I joined another company, I was like, yeah, I want to do just the job and not really get into like much on my personal things, but I can't do it. Like for me, when I'm part of a bigger organization, let's say, or a movement, I'm like, that will be on my face somewhere. And yeah, so I really enjoy working with people, and when I see something that I really like and I'm part of it, it's like everyone will know about it. And I think that's a really good point when it comes to DevRel in general, because that is the main connection between content, community, and I call it like technical or the business side. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Yuri. I don't know if you know Yuri, but she says startups are awesome. Yes, you're gonna wear many hats. Also, sometimes us at the same time, you have like 3 or 4 hats. This can also be an idea maybe for a video. And yes, great. So I think, oh, now, okay. So basically, for you, Web3 and DevRel, they have been in the same direction. So we have always been a DevRel for Web3, right?
Yes.
So DevRel and Web3 for you are at the same time. Okay.
Now I have
Or not.
another role. Now I will be a developer
Okay.
advocacy manager.
Okay.
So it's like another level of, I don't know, like I was doing management roles, but I didn't have the role, but now I have an official role for an amazing company that's called ZK Sync. I have to say that. And yes, I am kind of building systems in place for connecting multiple parts inside the company for the community side. So
Nice. I think that we'll do something at some point. And congratulations, of course, because this is a kind of well-known company in the Web3 space. So really congratulations on that. Now, if you want, we can take some questions from the audience that are also what I wanted to ask in some ways. So, DevRel, no, wait, we have this one. Let's start with this one. So, what is a job of DevRel? I think I asked this to around 200 people, and I got 200 different questions, but I didn't ask this to you yet. So, classical question. So,
yeah,
what is a DevRel, and what do we do?
It's so different because we can also have a combination of like let's say what is a DevRel, but it all depends on the company and and the products and everything. But I can give you an overview. For me, DevRel is really connected with the engineering side and the marketing side. And for me, for both sides to make the project successful, there needs to be this combination in between those. And let's say someone new starts working as a DevRel. How I started was that Traction book that I learned marketing things, and I learned how to use engineering as marketing. And the other thing was, let's create this big content marketing strategy that you would get everything out from the internet for how you want to position a product on the internet. And then when you have that, you start building content. And when I say content, it all depends on the project, right? Earlier for Webini, when I was working, it was like a serverless framework. So you could build web applications, you could build forms, it was a CMS, so it had 3 or 4 big use cases. So we had plenty of things to talk about technically, right? But when it comes to like different protocols in blockchain, then that's another story. But still, it's like all of the things that you can write and you can teach when it comes to a project's engineering side and marketing side. This is the person that you would need, a DevRel.
Nice. This is, I think, one of the best definitions that I've heard so far. It's very complete, we can say. And so, yeah, this is a great point of view. Amazing. Thank you so much. And it's okay. So I got this question, I think, that from 5 to 10 times per day. So how to get started in DevRel in DMs or something. So thank you for the definition. So I think that many people that I know, I think basically all my friends in the last 2 years, 80% of my friends on Twitter, they start in DevRel, included me. So before I was doing another job. So how can someone get started? Of course, someone, if you want to give some more context about your situation, on it will be nice. But maybe we can give some generic advices. Let me just tell super fast that we have some people from Twitch and also some people from LinkedIn. We're streaming on 5 platforms, so it's nice. And yes, hello. So how to get started with DevRel? I think someone is asking, like, I think if you don't have a job, I think, or so maybe in the getting a job, and then maybe what do you do?
Yeah, I will get some. I will talk about some different use cases, right? Because DevRel means there are three three famous C's that are connected with the DevRel, and those are code, content, and community, which mean totally different things when it comes to the perspective of coming from an engineering background. What do engineers do? They solve problems by coding and everything else that connects with it. But they also document, they also write, they also communicate. So a DevRel is someone that is in the engineering side working on a project, but does all of those things in public. And depending on like your background, you can slowly start to build skills for each part, right? For example, for me, I did community work that I didn't know that I would go to be doing DevRel. So I always say to people, bootstrap something, because for me it worked. Like in the beginning, how I started with my sister, like together organizing hackathons, was the idea that I'm an excellent student. I learned all of the programming languages in my university, and I couldn't find a local job. So I had to do something, and I got introduced to open source. And after open source, I got a remote job for a German company for my first job, right? So it's a bit hard to get a remote job for you just getting started into the real world business as a developer. So when I say bootstrap, is like if you are in the development or you are a programmer or you like to learn, let's say Rust, I want to learn Rust and I'm learning Rust, is I would just focus on that, like focus in one thing and then do the other things on top of it. If you want to be a DevRel and you want to be around Rust, start creating content for Rust. Expose yourself in all of the platforms that you can. And when I say platforms, it's not just Twitter, Instagram, or social platforms, it's like publication platforms. Go to dev.to, write your crash course in Rust, write all of your experience that you're going through, finish courses, do a review on those courses, and slowly get into GitHub. So as long as you start exposing yourself in different areas where it's writing is included, technical side is included, and exposure is included, you're on the right way, I think. This is my take, and this is what I'm trying to do. I don't know any better. So if someone has like another detail to add to that, I'm open to discuss, I'm open to learn more, comment on the comment sessions. But yes, start bootstrapping your role, because I really do believe that there is a place for you to express yourself in the way that you want to be expressed. So you can create your own role. Like we all know in the blockchain companies, you also have an application where it's like, you can't find your role, then make your role and put up all of your skills that you have. And I think that's possible. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Albiona. Congratulations. It's really, I think, a great answer. And to be honest, it's what you said is simple and hard at the same time, because maybe someone was asking maybe for some secret formula, but it's just hard work. I like the concept of just that you decide the direction where you want to go through. And then I think DevRel is a job which is in high demand. So if you can make you stand out in a specific technology, companies will kill for you, because it's yeah.
It's something that everyone is needing, and it's something that it's a combination. And I know, like from a podcast that I heard at Tim Ferriss, he's like, as long as you do combine two opposite skills, you're on the best phase possible for your career. And when I say two opposite skills, it's like if you are a great developer, learn how to express your knowledge, learn how to share your knowledge with the world, because you will get exposed to more opportunities. And then who knows, you would like some other opportunity, you would like to be in another place. So as long as you do those opposites, like be very good in something and then pick another one that is the opposite of that can help you combine those skills. That's what DevRel is. It's like a combination of skill sets. Like, who would have said earlier, 5 years ago or 7 years ago, that a great engineer will go live on YouTube and they will solve a problem directly there, and that's it. Like, who would have said it, right? So that's where DevRel comes. That's where developer advocacy comes and things like that. So
yeah, I think it's a great combination between how you expose something and also what you know, because you can know many things, but maybe it's hard to explain them, for example, in a live stream, even if you're super knowledgeable. So there are, as you say, the different skills, maybe at the opposite, like, because, a live stream is a sort of a show, we can say. It doesn't have to be super technical. It can be technical, but it's basically a show. You try to engage with people, make them laugh. There are different styles, but you get what I mean. And then there is the knowledge part. When you know something, you want to show something, or you just want to showcase that you are learning something in public in a most shameless way. This is my style. So yes, nice. And I would like to thank Abhishek for saying your answer speak to my aspiration. I can't thank Francesca enough for having you. Without her accepting this has been just an invitation. Also, thank you for this, because this has been kind of a tough day for both of us. So receiving compliments at the end of the day is always nice, right?
this is amazing. Thank you so much for your comment and for saying that. It's like, thank God that sometimes I forget that I have all of those followers on Instagram, like for real. And just one thing I want to share. I was walking in Lisbon, and there comes a girl, says, "Hey, I follow you on Instagram." I was like, "What? Is this true?" And I had like 5 or 6 people doing that. So this is like,
wow, nice. Nice. This is
yeah,
on another level.
yes.
It makes us feel famous, even if I'm not, but it makes me feel famous. So when I go, it happens.
It's not just famous. It's like you have the power to make an impact to someone's life, and as long as I know that, I will just keep push forward to share all that I can, and I think that it's okay for others to know, and it can make a difference. Like, I am up for that. I'm like always there to share all the ins and outs of my stories, so that, I don't know, we can improve together. So
Yes, and I think that people usually underestimate which impact can have, like just saying thank you for what you're doing. This happens also to me, to Twitter, because I have a bunch of followers grown during the pandemic, and now people say, "Oh, now Francesco replied to me," but it's totally normal. They've just been too much time on Twitter, but still, because we all have bad days, and receiving some thank you for what you're doing. I think people tend to underestimate this and think that people just they will not even read. I think I try to read all the messages, and sometimes it's great to receive a little bit of energy from someone who is reading your post, checking your things, and being part of your journey, because they know what you do. One of the things that gives me more pleasure is that someone maybe that connects, like, Francesco, you did that live stream yesterday, now you say this. It seems that like people are kind of following what you're doing, and especially when you do many things. It's hard to follow you. I can barely follow myself when I do many things every day.
it's like,
so.
Oh, thank you. That, like, you reminded me that I did this thing. So I have like people saying, "Hey, you started a lot of things. Try to just focus in one thing," because there are people who follow me for a long time, so they keep track of my progress, and I'm like, "Oh, thank you for reminding me that I'm just going out of the way." And I like it. So
It's like a big brother or a big sister telling, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah, and this is why I had to invite her on this podcast, to just get some updates. So now I am a bit more updated. And yes, thank you. Let's see. Someone is asking these: which Web3 companies are looking for DevRel at the moment? This is a thing too hard to answer. I'll try.
there are
Do you want? Yeah.
links. Yes, there are links that have only DevRel like jobs in Web3. I know I have some resources, so I can kind of share a bit later. But also, like, go follow all of the people who are working DevRel in Web3 because they all share, like they also have those like Twitter threads of put up your background here because I have a couple of companies who are hiring and things like that. As long as you, and yeah, I got a Twitter strategy from someone that I met like in Lisbon who's very famous for Twitter. He's like, follow 5 people in your interest and then try to find who those people like and what they support and do that as well. So then keep on doing that and see what happens. So I think it's the same. You will find jobs, plenty of jobs from people who work in DevRel for different companies just by going through their Twitter accounts. If that's the first things first, what you should do.
I think from my perception, DevRel is always in high demand, especially in the Web3 world. So this is also some of my thoughts. I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on the current status of DevRel in Web3, and so which are your thoughts on the status? It is always a personal perception, but maybe you can give your point of view on this.
Yeah, like concluding thoughts for Web3, it's like the technology is being built right now, and the space needs a lot of people, and it's not just DevRels. But if you kind of are around this, then I think you have a lot of space to go and not just learn, but build while you're learning things. So just take all of those opportunities because it's nothing bad, right? If you're interested, like people that know me, like that are around my network, they all know me that I try to kind of push a lot and say, hey, this is the opportunity, this is the opportunity. It's very, and it's a common state for someone who's in the space and who's a DevRel, because there are a lot of things to be done. But also, all of us have the skill to focus in one thing and keep pushing forward on that thing. So that's very important. So yeah, just join the space, find all of the courses, universities, boot camps, or even jobs, and go there and do the thing, even if you don't have that much experience, because those companies that invite you, that kind of say, hey, let's just come and join us, they are giving you a chance, and why not use it and do your best? So yeah, it's a big thing, and you can all join. So let's just, we need you as well, because we need inspiration from other people who are trying to do new things. So
yeah, absolutely. So let's try with this one. There are many questions, so I'll try to keep one or two more. So it's very in details, like, can a non-engineer CS graduate get into Web3 and get around 50K as a remote? What do you think from your experience?
Yeah, so when it comes to the community, as you may all know, is a very important subject, or like part of the ecosystem when it comes to a company or a protocol. So a community means in Web3 as an end user means in Web2. So to manage that, there are a lot of job opportunities or different roles that you can go without having the technical background. And there's actually also a website for non-technical people to get into Web3. All of the resources, the titles, the books, I don't know. So yes, there is an opportunity. It depends on all of your skills. But for everyone who comes from like economics, financial part, like laws, like everything is kind of needed in some way or another from different backgrounds. So you just get your background and search on Web3 until you find the right kind of ecosystem that needs you, and then you go with the flow. But yes, it's possible.
Yes, I agree with Albiona, and I can just add that don't undersell yourself, because the people in Web3 are in high demand. So don't accept that's the first job if you like it, but wait and just take a look around, because there are many opportunities, even way more than 50K. We can't go into details because every story is different. Every person has their needs, their skills. I think from my experience is also what you was saying before, that if you really shine in doing something, this is where you can ask for more. Let's say that you're very good at making videos or very good at community building. So if you have one very strong skill, you can look for bigger salaries. This is what companies are looking for, because I don't know, let's say that a company is really looking for building their community because they didn't manage to create one. If you are very good at building a community, you can be a very good fit and you can ask for a very good salary in this case. Albiona, we already we crossed 45 minutes already. We've been aiming for 30 minutes, so I think this will be our first collaboration. I hope not the last one. I really wish you best luck with all the content you create on YouTube. You'll come soon on Twitter if you want to organize a space or whatever you want on Twitter. I'm always there. And yes, you don't need my help, of course, for Instagram and other socials, but I'm always keen to see what you're doing. We have the links below. You're using this handle Albi codes basically everywhere, I think. Everywhere, but I'll also put a couple of links below. Albiona, some last final thoughts, and then we can wrap up this first episode.
I feel so inspired. I have to say everything that I want. Like now I'm so hyped up for all of my goals that I want to do. Like I have this DevRel in Web3 Twitter account that I want to start doing kind of interviews like these, and also Twitter spaces. So I have to thank you, Jax, Graham, and others who are part of the 4C community. You guys are amazing. You're like, this is a community. This is how you build a community, because I just came to the Twitter space and I don't want to go back. Like I am the number one fan of the community and I will be there. Why? Because it's a safe space for me to grow and to learn and then when you achieve those things, you don't go back. Like you want to give back. You want to give for others who want more, right? So I just want to say thank you very much for being so open and welcoming, because I have to admit, when you followed me back, I was like, what? This human, like this Twitter account, all of this like work that is being done from one person, and they just like, you just followed me. I was like, okay, this is a sign. I have to go back to work. I have to do all of my things that I want to do and achieve everything I want to achieve. So I would like to thank you for being so kind and so, I don't know how to say it, so a giver in the space. So this is it. Thank you so much for inviting me to have this week today. I'm going back to my home country like this week, and I'm so, I don't know, hyped for everything. So stay tuned, everyone. Join the journey, join the 4C community also. Like, yes, you will change your, like, if you wanted to do something with your content creation, like plans, then this is the place where you start. This is a place where you do things, because Jax will be there to ping you up for everything that you want to do. And then Francesco will be there to invite you to his channels and kind of support in every way. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for taking so much time for ending the
Albiona, for me, you can stay even 2-3 more hours. We can just leave this open and we just keep talking. To be honest, I prefer maybe to make another episode soon. Ironic, Savon, we're getting a lot of super deserved compliments. Thank you so much, because you also gave some energy, because this has been a tough week and still on Wednesday. Franci is not crying, of course. I'm not crying. Always tears of joy, of course. Jax is here. So yes, Albiona, thank you so much for your energy, your thoughts, your mindset. What you're doing for a community is really amazing. top level. I feel lucky that we met finally. We also started to make these collaborations, and really best of luck with your ZK Sync and all the
Thank you
upcoming
so much.
events, because I know that that's a very good company. Really wish you the best luck. And that's it. We're done. Let's see.
Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. Bye, everyone. Remember to follow her everywhere. Albi Codes. There are links in the description. You will never
join 4C. Join 4C community. We'll be there, and then we can go from there. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.